God, how could this have happened? When you get hustlers getting into the highest office of the land, it can only take the hand of God. And that's why we've been going round. And we also know that, you know, without God in Kenya, you get chaos, you don't have peace, you don't have unity. But when people are united by the Creator God, you find that people love one another, people are in harmony with one another, people have unity, and that is why we love God, and we know this time it has been about God, and it will continue to be about God.
Well, it has been a journey. What can you tell Kenyans out there who are waiting for you? 60,000 Kenyans are at Kasalani Stadium waiting for you guys to arrive as we saw in the President Ruto.
As a mother and as a pastor, I love you all. And it is so great to see you, and your expectations definitely will not be cut short. We have a God who has been working, and he's working now, and as he gives us the strength, we promise that we are going to work for you, because you have given us this job, and we really are humbled to you all Kenyans by how you have come out. You are there at 3, 4 a.m. May God really tremendously bless you. We will serve you as God enables us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, that has been the wife of Rigathi Gachagua speaking to us about how she's feeling this morning as she prepares to face the day ahead of her. I'm so sure she's looking forward to go to the Thanksgiving ceremony that is underway right now. She's just doing the final touches, and then she heads out there as they get ready now to head to Kasalani Stadium. Back to you in studio.
Now, Troy, you saw that beautiful smile. You saw, you know, Deputy President-elect's wife, that is Pastor Dr, saying that as a mother and as a pastor, God has to be at the center. And I like that they, from a journalist point of view, that they have been very welcoming to the media to just follow up their preparations ahead of the swearing-in ceremony. And I hope this is something that we are going to see in their tenure, that, you know, the top two will not be inaccessible to the media, that will be able, the doors will be open for us to ask questions. And as a role, the media plays Troy there. But I want to challenge you, Troy. There's something that the Deputy President-elect actually said, that his day starts out with a workout. I just want to know, does yours start with a workout, Troy?
Bearing in mind I have a very rich sports background, I really do a lot of exercises. But away from that, it's a good thing that you saw even the DP talked about being quite fit. You saw him when he was the deputy president. Sometimes he was running, you know, just to show how indeed he is athletic, and he will really need that, because now he has been elevated to the topmost position in the land. And something else that his wife is also gonna be on Kenya's eyes now. The bishop, the good bishop, will be on Kenya's eyes and lips, and now she has to transit from her work to indeed being the wife of the second in command, which comes with a lot of responsibilities. We have seen Dr. Ruto's wife actually in so many functions here and there. We saw Margaret Kenyatta as well in so many projects, including Beyond Zero. So they have to change their lives as soon as their husbands took the oath, take the oath of office today. And talking about taking, we had talked about something, is that Kenyans, you can see Kenyans from all walks of life, from all the 47 counties, and we were talking about 2.5 trillion has been able to be narrowed down to counties. That is something that the devolution has quite brought in, and this is the second regime after we promulgated the 2010 constitution. 2.5 trillion. And okay, hold the thought. Let's first of all cross over to Kasalani and listen in.
Many hours of hard work, and today we're finally here to celebrate the culmination of the achievement of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. We, the people of Nairobi, are extremely happy that we are hosting this historic event in this city, and I would welcome everybody to come in and join with us so that we can look forward to the building of a prosperous nation.
There are so many challenges we are facing as city residents. What next for us after this, after the taking of oath by the President-elect and his deputy?
I think we expect very, very dynamic leadership. Our leader has shown us, he has been very, very consistent. He has told us the things that we need to follow through in terms of what we are doing within the city ourselves. We are also working on that same program, and we want to make sure that we support him to be successful, to achieve the programs, the bottom-up policies, the issue of uplifting those at the bottom, the issue of supporting businesses, the issue of developing infrastructure, the issue of developing education, ensuring that we do things like school feeding in Nairobi and across the country. There are many things that we have put in our manifesto, and it's also in the national manifesto, and I know the president is going to lead us in that journey.
We have seen so many hustlers, those people who are living below $1 per day. They have turned up here as early as 5 a.m. What would you encourage them now?
This is a day of hope. It's a day of anticipation. It's a day of a new beginning. And I believe that the things that we are going to do and the things we are going to achieve with the new government will help them directly achieve better lives, better days for their children, better days for their families. And that's what we would like to do in this country. That's what we would like to encourage everybody to do, to work hard. So when people wake up early to come and celebrate this, I think it's an indication of the hope and aspirations of a huge number of our citizens, and that's what we encourage them to do every single day as they go around looking for food and whatever else for their families.
Your parting words before I let you go?
I think it's a brilliant day. Let every Kenyan enjoy this, celebrate to the fullest, because today we begin a new era.
Thank you, sir. Good day ahead.
Thank you.
Indeed, that is Irene Chuma Odimu was sampling some of the responses by the leaders who are now streaming in, and from that camera angle we can tell you that some dignitaries are already arriving. Remember, the 60,000 capacity stadium is full to the brim. We cannot authoritatively say exactly who those dignitaries are, but it's a good thing that Kenyans are seated, and it's 8:01, and we have seen even dignitaries already arriving. Earlier on, UDA Secretary General there talked about they are being rewarded for good work that they did, and especially when you talk about the DP, and now they're being rewarded with more work, and when it comes to devolution.
Well, as I was saying earlier, is that 2.5 trillion has been devolved to counties over the last, say, 9.5 years. What for me I'm looking forward is that how can we now see the benefits of this kind of money that has been invested in the counties, and do we need to change the structure of the kind of investment we've done? We've realized some of the counties that are governors are inheriting governments where 50% of what they were getting went to recurrent expenditure. So we need to reorganize the structure of those economies so that more money can go to development, and the development can be able to start bringing the returns that we expect. Counties are economies by themselves. For example, in Nakuru, where I come from, is that 6% of the national economy comes from Nakuru. 26% of the national economy comes from Nairobi. We need to see the structure of the whole economy in the country changing, rather than having 5 counties contributing to over 50% of the economy. We want to see more and more counties growing so that their revenue and their contribution to the national GDP can also increase. So the burden that we have on these 5 counties, which is Nakuru, Kiambu, Nairobi, Mombasa, and Meru, can be lessened. We want to see counties like Turkana, Nyandarua, Nyeri, Laikipia doing more to the national outlook of the economy. And that I mean that I'm looking forward where now some of the manifesto and economic blue plans that Ruto's administration will have will require that investments are done in those counties, so that those counties' economy can also be able to grow and contribute bigger in the economy. So it's good that Uhuru took the bold step of devolving governments immediately. He took over, but now we need now that the devolved governments are already there, what do we need to do to make them better? One of the areas that we have always had a concern is that the amount of money being devolved is not enough. That is one. But also the own source revenues in those counties, are they collecting enough? Are they using the one that they collect effectively? Are they making sure that there are no leakages in terms of the collection? Are they making sure that we don't have the cases that we are seeing in Kisii, where we have ghost workers, people who are employed, they don't qualify for those jobs, they are not being productive, or they are even not there, people being assigned to be drivers and there are no cars to drive? The kind of wastage we are seeing is shocking.
Okay.
So we need to be able to address those issues.
Let's first of all listen in. This is Kasalani MP.
Okay, today it's a very nice day. Swearing in of a new president. Very high expectations throughout the country. I think he's inheriting a very crazy situation in terms of the finances of the treasury. So I think the first 6 months might be very tough, but it's the hope of all Kenyans that after that things will get better.
And what do you expect after this?
You see, the hope of all Kenyans, people have been hungry. People don't have money in their pockets. I think the hope of all Kenyans is that there's change that comes with the new presidency. I think from the president's speech, there's a lot of things that will come out, and I'm hoping that the hope that people have with the new president, he will actually fulfill those promises, because people have been suffering. We've had a government that has not been respecting court orders. We've had a government that has really impoverished the people of Kenya. So I'm hoping in the next few years, I know it will take time, hopefully in the next 2-3 years, everything will have changed, and people will have money in their pockets. We won't have cases of people going hungry, people not going to school, and that's the change I hope that will come with the new presidency.
You're representing the people of Kasalani.
Yes.
What do you think will be first of the things for you to address as you're taking office now?
We do have a lot of problems in Kasalani, and most of them are basic needs. People are hungry. We don't have basic infrastructure, especially like in the wards of Njiru and Ruai. Water is a problem. It doesn't reach all the communities and all the families in my constituency. So I'm hoping with the help and in partnership with the national government, we'll be able to achieve all those objectives, so that at least from a starting point, people live a dignified life. Then after that, we can bring infrastructure to the community.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Kasalani MP, Captain Ronald Karawi. And something interesting he has talked about there is that for the next 6 months, things are going to be quite tough for the new government. But something else, talking of tough, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the diaspora came in handy for Kenyans. And there's something that President Uhuru Kenyatta mentioned yesterday, that we are now doing around 400 billion diaspora remittances. And there's something interesting that the president-elect also said in regards to the diaspora. He said that he is going to make a ministry dedicated for the diaspora, because it's somewhere that we cannot ignore. Bringing in 400 billion every year?
I think it is being very real. When I could see the member of parliament was just spoken from Mbagasi that things are very tough, and that's actually the true position. And why we talk about the diaspora, I think this is a more informed, a more capable or able society, and if they can really be able to pump in such amount of resources to